Good evening, and welcome back to the lands of Aecathan. No professionals, no fancy tech, just a group of women playing an all-original game of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Jeff, and I'm here to remind you that pirates are very shrewd customers. When getting a piercing, they won't pay more than $1 an ear. See, I told you it was good.
Yeah, I think it was...
Well,
that's better than the last one, I think.
Yeah, like I said, I like this one. So,
good stuff.
Let me bring you up to speed on where we were last time. The four stopped into the Shouting Pirate to catch up with Jojo, and in the process, between Gwenlaren talking to Synchron and the group talking to Jojo, managed to find out more about what happened to the original Adventurers 4 than anyone knew prior to that.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
Then the group headed out for Aribell's parents' house. Unfortunately, they were ambushed. Outside the Shouting Pirate, a group of half a dozen mercenaries, a dozen zombies, and 3 spellcasters of one flavor or another launched an attack the moment they stepped out of the Shouting Pirate.
Dirty bastards.
In an attempt to give them a chance of surviving the attack, Zorith used, for the first time, what she had put together in her head as the adjustment to the teleportation circle spell and whisked everyone successfully away to Aribell's stables. Unbeknownst to them, however, Jojo had come out to try to lend a hand after having Jalea evacuate herself and all the patrons out the back. He managed to kill one of the mercenaries. Unfortunately, because he was then on his own, they ganged up on him and killed him. When the 4+ made it back to Jojo's, the zombies were wandering aimlessly and everyone else was gone. They found Jojo's remains badly burnt on the side of the Shouting Pirate and immediately set off to the nearest temple, which happened to be the Luck Lodge, the temple of Costas. There, the priestess of the temple began a raise dead ritual, which took an hour. There was lots of interaction between various members of the Four while this was going on, and partway into the ritual, Aribell had an epiphany and left at a run to go get Viessa and bring her to the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Viessa did not respond well when she got there, and you heard her lose it for the first time since you've known her, which is almost as long as you've been a group. Fortunately, the spell was successful, and Jojo was brought back to life, however, significantly weakened. He will get stronger as he rests, but for now, he's very weak and pretty much incapable of doing almost anything. The group was able to take him back to the Shouting Pirate, where Viessa and Jalea helped him up to his room, and the 4 were left in the otherwise empty Shouting Pirate. And that is where we pick up this evening. So, 4+, what would you like to do?
Now that Jojo's out of danger, I think we need to figure out who those people were.
I assumed it was more mercenaries from Strafsoman.
We should find out for sure, though.
How can we do that?
The army showed up, right?
Yeah.
So the zombies are taken care of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the zombies were pretty much taken care of before you
Okay.
before
wanna
you
make sure they
found
weren't-
JoJo.
Wandering aimlessly.
Oh, no.
Still.
No.
I think we ask Viessa to have someone confirm where they were from.
That's a good idea.
Maybe someone who got a good look and might have recognized them.
And
We
I-
don't want to bug Viessa right now, though.
No, tomorrow. I have a couple of questions for Viessa.
Zorith is obviously very quiet. Every once in a while, she'll start crying again and just not making eye contact. Not well.
I think we all need to rest. I expect JoJo's the pirate will stay closed tonight.
Yeah.
Has Julia, is she still upstairs?
Yeah.
We can come help in the morning if they need it for
Well,
opening, but
they also know we're here. Do we endanger JoJo and everyone else by continuing to remain here? They could come back.
we're not staying here tonight.
No, we're.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean we are endangering the whole town?
Well, I mean that they may come here looking for us since that's where they saw us, and try to torture out of anyone where we're located.
Mm.
Well, probably someone who's watching. So if we leave,
Yeah.
The front door slams open,
hey, Warbend.
and you see Captain Warbender walk in.
Captain.
Do you
Yeah.
have news?
You're still here.
Just on our way out.
Right. Well, we're having one of the zombies taken to a cleric. We're gonna try speak with dead.
Oh.
See if I don't know. I don't know if it works if they've been a zombie and they're dead again. But we're gonna try. See if we can find anything out. And I'm gonna be leaving a squad here. They're gonna basically be patrolling pretty much right around this building.
Thank you.
It's good.
That sounds good.
Our plan is to stay tonight at my parents', not my home.
Smart. All
A little
right.
more. Just so you didn't put anybody on our house. I mean, you could, I guess, watch it, but we won't be there.
It might be good to put someone on the house to make it seem as though we're there. It might keep someone from coming here looking for us.
But it will put them in danger for
Right.
sure.
But then I put
Would.
I put that soldier in danger. Well, it's a thought. But anyway, there'll be people watching. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to make certain someone's watching as well. You see Viessa walk down the stairs into the room. Jojo's going to be getting bouncers. On a semi-permanent basis. He's going to hate the idea, but I don't care.
I don't care either. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, so would you have time for us tomorrow?
I anticipate that, at least for the next couple days, I'm going to hope that my employees can operate well enough on their own, because I'm going to be here. So if you need to find me, this is where I'll be.
We'll be here tomorrow. Does Julia need help? Should we send someone to help in the kitchen? Or are you going to keep it closed?
I'm going to wait until Jojo has had a full night's rest, and then we'll have a chat.
So be closed in the morning.
Most likely.
Okay.
If we open, I would say lunchtime.
Okay.
Then we'll be here before lunchtime, but not super early, so the two of you can chat privately.
I want to apologize.
Why?
Because I'd say there's a 90% chance that those people were looking for me. And if that's true...
More from fucking Strafsomans.
I don't know, though. Strafsoman's mercenaries with undead seems a little out there, but...
No, not if you know the family.
Oh, and wasn't Park now involved? That doesn't surprise me, never mind.
So, if they were looking for me, I feel responsible, and I apologize.
You have nothing to apologize for. If that's who they were, it falls on me, because I'm the one who told you I would take care of the groups that came to town looking for you. And if I missed an entire group...
It will be handled. We'll talk to you about it tomorrow.
Yes.
I have a plan.
Ooh, that's good.
And
I want to talk strategy this evening.
I've got some feelers out to try and see if I can get you a couple volunteers to go with you.
I appreciate that.
I've already got one, I just don't know if you want her.
Oh, I'll take her. You're talking about the half-orc, aren't you?
Nook?
Yep.
I'll take her.
It may or may not be necessary if my plan works.
Okay.
I'd like to send a big fucking dragon.
Oh.
Nothing says fuck you like raising an entire area with a dragon.
Or letting them know that's what will happen if they don't stop.
I think we'd have to raise at least a little bit. Just a
Yeah,
little raising.
the problem with that you may not be considering is the fact that there are actually lots of innocents.
Well, that's
who
why I
happen to
don't
be
actually
stuck
want
there.
to raise them. But
We can't really play that card until after the festival.
your song is all over town, or all over the continent. They know that we're friends with dragons. They want to keep having this fight. We'll bring it, but we won't be alone.
All right.
We are dragonkin.
I'm done with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Woe be those who raise the ire of a paladin.
Yep.
Can you say wrath?
Aye.
I can
Like the word smite more.
Just don't forget to throw the word righteous in front of it.
Oh, yes. Indeed. Righteous it is.
Well, if you do decide to go, I think it only fair that maybe I can send a couple people with you as well. I don't have my best anymore, but I have some that are decent. They'd at least be helpful, fill in maybe some of the gaps.
Numbers can be helpful.
Any help would be helpful.
We have I'm sure, fighters and a lot of places we could call in if we needed.
Yes, we could summon some of the Lion Clan, I'm certain.
We have friends.
Specific people I could call.
We
Really?
can check in with BA and see who he has free.
Oh, right. Huh. A small contingent of monks, that'd be fun.
And might be a
Dragons
few
also make-
barbarians pissed off enough in Valinamard that might want to go on a road trip. If they want to fight, we'll bring it. But they won't.
Dragons
survive.
also make a great distraction, you know.
Unfortunately, the people left in Valinamard don't have much fight in them at all. That's why we've left 3 squads up there, because most of the people that died were the ones that were their fighters and their protectors. All that's left are the very old, the very young, and the weak. So it's not really a lot to draw on from up there.
We have friends in every other city in this country.
Well, if you decide to go, I'll be keeping my eye on the fire lanterns. I anticipate that you've touched enough people's lives that there's going to be some that'll travel from wherever they're at to help. Nook's only the first.
But
That is wonderful.
there's a lot going on and we don't want to leave anything else undefended.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to open up a hole in the defense of the realm just to send you some extra muscle.
No, but like Sandy Cove probably only has a few fighters. We wouldn't want them to
Oh,
ask them to come.
the smaller communities probably.
Right.
They're not going to have the people to send, but Thunder's Edge, I would expect your young man's got the right of it. And probably Romani Keep could send folk.
Incrin, Jojo's fine. Go bed.
Right. Well, I'm off to see what they can get out of that zombie corpse at the temple. You'll be at Thebes Manor tonight, and
Yes.
I think I overheard you saying as I was coming in that you're coming back here tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Probably around 11 or so.
All right. Well, if I find anything out or have any more information, either I'll come or I'll send someone.
Ooh.
Yes.
Well, I was thinking we should probably do a little prestidigitation on ourselves before we go see the rents.
Probably.
No, they'll have baths ready for us. Just let's go.
All right.
Or did we want to do seeming so we don't look like ourselves?
Yes.
I think we want people to know we're not here, right?
But we don't want to bring them to your parents' door.
I don't think they'll do that.
Why not?
Well, it's one thing to attack outside a tavern in, what is this, Port District? Did I get that right?
Port Ward, yes.
Port Ward. It's another thing to attack a noble's compound.
And the
because
Lord's Ward.
nobles tend to be competitive and not all that friendly until you attack one of them.
Well,
And
if
then
we just
suddenly it's the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
if we look like guards coming out, then maybe they'll think that we're still in here, and that
Let's
will
just
be
go as we are. We will go
okay.
as we are.
I don't see them coming back. We tripped their ambush, and their fodder is not available any longer. If they do come back, I think we can take them.
All right. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
As you exit the Shouting Pirate, you see several members of the Aecathan military are still around. A few of them are carting zombie carcasses away. But you don't see anyone other than soldiers. Now, you still have 2 horses with you.
Bring them with us,
Okay.
or leave them here.
Well, there's
Are
really
they just
nowhere...
tied up outside?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're just tied up out front.
I'm
There's
sure you
no
have
stables here.
Yeah, we'll just take them with us.
Okay. All right. Are you riding the horses or leading the horses?
Leading.
Okay. All right. You walk down to the main road, turn south, walk out of Port's Ward, cross the East Bridge, and enter the Lord's Ward, and almost immediately sort of cut around one of the buildings, and you see on the other side of a rather large and well-kept manor house, there is what appears to be an equally well-kept stables.
I mean, just general public stables or her family stables?
Oh, her family stables.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll look to you to lead the way, Aribell.
I will walk in
Okay.
and look to see who's in there.
You see a figure bent over one of the horses, and you hear the sound of a hammer hitting nails. Apparently, whoever is there is shoeing a horse at the moment.
Do I recognize him?
From behind? Maybe make a perception check at disadvantage.
So, just one moment. 31.
Yeah. Something about his posture, something about his hair, and his upper body strength working on that horse. This is Dean.
Dean.
Yeah. This is your father's master wagoner and driver.
Master Elton?
Oh, well, as I live and breathe. Lady Aribell, always nice to see you.
Lovely to see you. I wondered if you might be able to take care of our horses.
Well, certainly. Is that blood?
It's okay. It's not ours.
All right. Well, if you wouldn't mind, maybe staying a little bit back from the horses. But certainly I can take care of the two that I see. Are there more?
Nope, just those two.
Just those two.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Certainly. As far as I know, your father's here. Does he know you're coming?
No.
Would you like me to run in and let Amnon know?
No, I'm gonna try to sneak in the back.
All right. Good luck. I've never been able to do it. That tiefling has a sixth sense when it comes to people entering that house, I swear.
Well, yes, but I can sneak with him knowing and not my mother, maybe.
Ah, I understand. Well, good luck. Come on, you.
Would you like me to sneak you in?
It's not a big deal. It will
I
be okay.
guarantee that we wouldn't be detected.
Yes, but what about the rest of us? I don't
It's
know that I
fine.
feel comfortable walking into that house if no one can see the woman
It's-
who is related to the people who live there. That makes me
Maybe.
very, very nervous.
Uh-huh.
Where would the house guard be?
The soldiers, like the actual guardsmen and women, would be posted around front. There's probably one posted near the back door. Where the commander and the lieutenant are is anybody's guess.
Okay. We come out of the stables, we would see some guards on the way to the
Yep.
to the rear entrance, right?
Yep. There are two guards flanking the rear entrance. As you walk toward the door, they step out and cross their halberds in front of the door. Halt. State your business.
I'm here to see my parents.
And you are... You don't recognize
Ara-
either one of these guards.
Oh. I'm Aribell. Arrowhead around?
He is not.
Is Alice here?
Yes.
Could you get her, please? Should have just gone to the front door. Or Amnon.
You see the door open, and you hear a very, very familiar voice. It is unseemly that you would come through the servants' entrance, Lady Aribell.
I didn't think it would be appropriate to come through the front door covered in blood in front of the neighbors. I didn't think you'd prefer that.
Well, you are known now to be both an adventurer and a member of the military, so I doubt it would be that much to speak of. But I do appreciate you thinking about how it would be publicly interpreted. But, gentlemen, this is the daughter of Lord Thebes. Move your weapons.
I kissed him on the cheek. Plus, if I got blood on Mom's rug, you'd be very mad.
It would not be the worst thing that has had to be cleaned off rugs in this house.
Sorry we didn't message ahead, but I'm hoping you have room for me and my friends.
Of course. introductions, if you don't mind.
I believe you've met. Well, Tasha and Zorith have been here before.
Mm-hmm.
A pleasure to see you both again.
Yep.
This is Athgar Tremaine of Thunder's Edge. Do you go by Prince Athgar? What do you like? Lord?
I like Athgar.
It's Lord Athgar.
Well, actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's Lord Skend. That is
No one calls you that.
correct. How do you... I make it a point to know who Aribell is traveling with. But yes, Lord Skend, you are most welcome in this house.
And this is Gwen Lauren. She is an ambassador of Thunder's Edge.
Ah, the Creth Magdal.
Yes.
Indeed.
It has been some time since anyone claimed that particular title.
Yes, they had to make some allowances.
Well, your ambassadorship, you are most welcome as well.
Thank you. Pleased to be here.
Lady Aribell, what do you wish first?
Baths.
Very well. Follow me. I shall lead you. I shall lead your guests to their rooms. I trust you remember where yours is.
What time of day is it?
It's like 6 o'clock at night.
Okay. So it's not quite dinner yet.
No.
And hopefully we won't be too much of an inconvenience to have the unplanned guest for dinner.
Wirid will complain, but she always does. I've no doubt that she has more than sufficient food to feed all of your companions and more. But I shall let her know there will be an additional 5 for dinner.
We did have a spot of trouble in town on our way in.
I assumed as such, unless bloodstains have become fashionable.
Well, they
Might
rather
wanna-
are, but just if you have any ability for security or defenses, might not be a bad idea to keep an eye out.
You need not worry. We are guarded both physically and magically. Besides, there would be so many here to defend this house in such a short time that attempting an attack here would be tantamount to suicide.
That's why we're here and not at my house.
A wise choice, lady.
Why doesn't everybody get cleaned up? And I'm sure everybody will be hungry by the time.
Yes, if you will follow me, I will show you to your rooms, and then I shall arrange the bathing chamber.
Where's Father?
I believe he's in his study.
Alone?
That I could not say. I have not seen him for several hours.
Okay.
Your mother is in her solarium, working, and she is
Okay.
alone.
Okay. Then we'll head to his study. I just didn't want to see Mom.
As she walks away, I'm gonna prestidigitation her outfit so at least she doesn't look like her clothes don't look too bad.
Okay.
All my fun.
So
Told you we
the
should have done prestidigitation.
the
I didn't want her to.
the purple tiefling who seems to run the place leads you off up a flight of stairs, down a hall, and begins assigning rooms. You find them well furnished, comfortable. And he informs you that the baths should be ready in about 10 minutes, and that you will need to determine who is going to bathe first, as there are only 2 bathing vessels.
Aribell, you can definitely stop my hand.
Aribell is... Oh, okay.
I was just going to say, she can definitely stop my hand.
I would have noticed you were going to do it. I would put my hand on it.
Okay.
It's okay. My father will enjoy it much more than my mother would.
Okay.
All right. Aribell, you wind through the keep and go up a different flight of stairs, and you come to the door to your father's study. It is closed.
I will knock.
Come in.
I walk in.
Aribell. Oh dear.
We'll tell you all about it later. I have 2 bards with me. One of them will tell the story much better.
2? I thought you only traveled with 1.
Lord Athgar is also a bard.
You're not
You're
there.
not.
I think
No
it's
one's
just
there,
her.
but
Oops.
Aribell.
Oops, sorry.
You're in your room getting ready to take a bath.
Thank God.
We liberated Athgar Tremaine from Thunder's Edge, and he's traveling with us.
Lord Tremaine's son? How in the
Boy.
hell did you manage that?
Well, it was actually him that did it, but he's now an apprentice to Arelakis.
And Tremaine allowed that. Wow, he's slipping.
Well, he needs Arelakis, so.
I sense there's more to this story than I quite understand. I'm looking forward to hearing the full tale.
Oh.
Whew. So, staying for dinner?
And the night,
Excellent.
if you don't mind.
Oh no, of course not. This is your home.
Well, we had a bit of trouble in town, and it seems safer here.
Indeed. Well, I'll look forward to hearing that story too. Clearly you came out relatively unscathed. I see blood, but I don't see wounds.
We're all fine. Our friend Jojo was hurt gravely, but he's recovering at the pirate.
Oh, Jojonia. Yes. Well,
Bunch of mercenaries and zombies.
goodness. Do the authorities know?
Yes, Warbender was already there.
Oh, excellent. He's
We're-
very, very competent, our Captain Warbender.
We're probably going to be heading out in the next day or two to negotiate with some horrible people.
I don't suppose I know any of these horrible people. You wouldn't be talking about some of the other houses.
No, we're headed to Strafsoman.
Oh, good gods. Why would you go there?
Because they keep sending bands of mercenaries to take Tasha back there, and we're kind of done with that.
Okay, there's much more to this story than I know.
I
And
know, but I
I'll
can't
wait-
tell you them in front of Mom.
Well, all right then. Sit.
Well, there's not much more than that. She
Well,
is
why?
from there.
Oh, but why do they want her back? What? I mean, so she's from there. She got out. Usually
but
they
she
don't chase down.
belongs to the main guy
Oh.
in his eyes.
Is this Yasef or is this Zagran?
It's Yasef, right?
I think so. I think it's Aaron.
Zagran? It's her
Yeah.
uncle, right? But it's her cousin that's right. The son is Yasef, right? Isn't he the one sending them?
No, Zagran is the son.
Oh, okay. But it's her uncle, right? Something? I don't remember.
You said the guy who's in charge.
Then Yasef, right?
Yasef is in charge. Zagran is ostensibly second in charge.
But he F sheep, so.
Yep.
then Yasef.
And you just see your dad kind of go. Heard that song, did you? Reynard did a command performance here not more than a week ago, and I will say I enjoyed watching the more stuffy of our fellow nobles act shocked. I don't think there was a single one of them that actually was.
Don't have any idea of any reinforcements around that we could take with us, do you?
Unfortunately, no. And
I
everyone's... there have been some losses amongst the constabulary of the other houses because of the dragon attacks. And people are scrambling. Some of the less ethical houses are actually trying to buy members of the armed forces away from the army to use them as private guards. It's cutting off your nose to spite your face, I believe is the phrase. But there is a shortage of employable guards, so I doubt you're going to find anyone.
Warbender is gonna send a few, and we're gonna reach out to Thunder's Edge and Romani Keep for help.
Well, I'm certain that Tremaine's boy can secure you some assistance. It's very interesting. I've heard conflicting reports about that young man. The general scuttlebutt is that he's a bit of a wastrel. But my sources say that he's actually a rather, an overused term, but noble young man, and that he's not weak.
Not at all. We wouldn't be here. Saved us on several occasions. If he hadn't been with us,
Well,
we would have been in far more danger.
Well, I definitely
And-
look forward to meeting him.
He is definitely different than his father.
Oh, good.
You'll like him.
If you like him, chances are good I'll like him. Tell me, what do you think of his dad?
Oh,
And you don't have to play nice, it's just us.
I think that Lord Tremaine is doing the best he can with the life he knows. and has not considered expanding that viewpoint and changing how he interacts with others, because it's worked well enough until now. And unfortunately, it will cost him many things.
That sounds like Sengi.
But I believe he thinks he's doing what is best for his son. And I know he is doing what he thinks is best for Thunder's Edge.
You're talking about the arranged marriage he's trying to broker.
Yeah, do you know who it's with?
He actually sent a messenger here about you.
Athgar already said no. I offered to fake it for him, but...
Oh, Aribell.
Oh, I mean, at least buy him some time.
There are other ways that will do significantly less damage to your personal honor than a sham marriage.
Well, I wasn't going to actually marry him. I just thought, we could pretend to court for a while and buy him some time. I mean, he's off traveling with us anyway.
Yes. And you have someone else from Thunder's Edge traveling with you.
Yes.
It's a term that I can't keep on my tongue. Your mother knows it.
I say it. I can't say it. Krath
Magdal.
Yeah, that's what Aribell says. I can't say
Yes, that.
it. Yes, she's an ambassador at large. Is a good...
Yeah, your mother tells me that translates to honor warden.
Lahrana is very honorable. She used to be their scout. What's that one? The other word.
Make a history check. Let's see if Aribell remembers.
19.
Yeah, Thawsgon.
Yeah, I've got it written down here. She was the Thawsgon, and then was captured, and then they had a new Thawsgon, and so, but she wasn't dead, and...
Nope. That one I don't know.
It's like an elite scout.
Oh. Well.
You'll like Lahrana.
I'm looking forward to meeting her too. Has she had occasion to interact with Sengi as well?
Is that what you're calling Tremaine?
Sorry. His first name is Sangor.
And you call him Sengi?
Well, not to his face.
Oh, okay.
But yes.
You will definitely... Lahrana reminds me somewhat of you, actually.
Poor girl.
No, she's... always says what she thinks, enjoys life, and puts up with BS from no one. You'll like her a lot.
I like her already.
I just wanted to let you know we were here so you wouldn't be surprised at dinner.
Ah. And,
I will tell Mother after I've changed clothes.
Probably wise.
But I thought you'd get a kick out of it. I'm fine.
I can
safe.
see that. I can see that from the way you're holding yourself, the way you move. You don't seem to be favoring anything. You don't seem stiff.
And I'm much better in other ways.
Well, I'm delighted to hear that.
I won't tell you not to worry, because you will.
Of course. I always do, but I also know that I raised a very intelligent, capable daughter. And so my worry is tempered by the knowledge that there are a good chunk of the population whose ass you could kick should you choose to.
Just like you.
Well, less now than years gone past, but I could still give a good drubbing if called upon.
Yeah. I'm gonna go see if the baths are free yet.
Excellent. Well, I assume that Amnon knows you're here and has...
Yeah, he caught us trying to sneak everyone through the servants' entrance.
Oh, goodness. Oh, yes. New guards, by the way.
I met them.
Ah, excellent. Are they still in one piece?
Of course.
Okay, just checking.
We would not attack your guards.
I wasn't worried about that. I was worried about them attacking you, because they won't know who you are.
Right, but you have to do a lot to get them to attack you. I mean...
Yes, but trying to walk into the back door of the house, that would be one of those things, I think.
Well, I mean, I didn't just open the door. I mean, they put their swords down first anyway, but...
Oh, well. Well, at least they only tried to block you and didn't actually threaten you. That's good. I won't have to fire them. I'm kidding. You know I'm kidding.
Okay. All right.
If I was Sengi, I'd fire them.
Yeah, probably. Publicly.
Yes. All right.
Now, so far he likes me, so I'll have to tell Athgar he tried to marry us all.
I'm not sure that's supposed to be public knowledge, but
It's funny.
it was a little strange. I will say that. I was very surprised.
I told
And
you he likes me.
a little flattered on your
I
behalf.
guess I am a little flattered that he thinks I'm worthy, because he doesn't think anyone is, so.
Yeah.
But that probably speaks more to you than me.
Perhaps. All right, go. Get cleaned up.
Okay,
I'll see you at dinner.
bye. Go upstairs the long way to avoid my mother's solarium.
Okay. So the rest of you are informed that the first round of baths are ready, so you get to decide who goes first.
I will go last.
Yeah, Athgar, Leslie, you're muted.
Probably Athgar should go first.
Actually, Athgar looks at Zorith and says, "You will not go last. Ladies first. I will go last."
He thinks we're ladies.
He knows better than that.
It is so cute. All right, fine. I'll go first.
I'll go at the same time. You said there's two?
Mhm.
Yeah, then I'll go.
Okay.
Perfect. I start chucking my clothes as I go. And by the time I get to the tub, I'm Starkers. And I stick a toe in to see how hot it is. And when I realize that it's only molten, I jump in. Well,
Yes, it is. It is
step in.
steaming.
I step in
It's very hot.
and I slowly sink in. And I go, oh, that feels good on the old bones.
I just walk in, pile all my clothes, and then just get in. And then just quietly take a bath and not even stay in there and just be done, get my clothes and leave.
Sigh.
I'll prestidigitation my clothes, when they're
Mhm.
when they're stacked up.
I clean myself and make sure all of the blood and ick is off of me. And I take a good minute to just be calm and not be angry and bring myself back to what will be polite conversation so that I'm not inhospitable or impolite. And I get out of the tub. I find a towel. I drape myself in the towel. And I start picking up the clothes as I go back.
You find that the clothes that you dropped on the way, they're not there anymore.
Oh, well.
And
I didn't like them anyway.
when you get back to your room, you find them cleaned and folded sitting on the end of the bed.
Ah, perfect. All right, well, I change into my newly cleaned clothes. And I get my lute out and I begin to play.
All right.
I will have walked by Gwen and told her that it was available.
I'll head in.
Okay. You walk in and you see the purple tiefling is just finishing refilling the tubs with fresh water.
Thank you.
Of course.
This will be much appreciated.
Do you desire anything else?
No, thank you. Just
Very
hot water,
welcome.
soap, and a towel.
If you do desire anything else or find yourself lacking in anything, you need only ask.
Thank you.
He turns and walks out and intercepts Aribell coming down the hallway. Two of your party have already bathed. The third is in there and the other tub is open as the young man is insisting that he will bathe last.
Thank you. I will go in and get in the bath.
Okay. Gwen, you see Aribell come in shortly after the tiefling walked out.
Hello?
Hello.
Fancy meeting you here.
Not at all awkward or weird.
Right. I'm just going about the bath in a routine manner. Just, I know that Athgar is waiting, so I'm just moving through the motions quickly.
And I'm guessing he won't come in while either of us are in here. So.
That would be interesting. So, is it good to be home?
It is. I gave a brief overview. My father's looking forward to meeting you in Athgar.
Ah, time to play the diplomat.
Oh, no, please don't. I told him he would like you. Please don't be that way.
But it's my job. Although I am wholly unsuited to it, I was much better off as the Thosgan. At least I had skills in that area. Why they decided I would be an ambassador is beyond me. I have no diplomacy.
He calls Tremaine Sengi. I thought you'd like that.
That's hilarious. I will have to call him that when I see him next. I'm sure I could just sort of mutter it under my breath and then deny it if asked.
Make sure you're standing near Arilakis when you do it. I think he would enjoy it.
I will do that. Thank you. You are just giving me such good
Well, he was
material.
calling it. I was like, what is he saying? What are you calling it? And he said, Sengi. I'm like, you call him that? And he said, not in front of him.
Oh, and that's the difference.
I know. I told him he'd like you a lot.
Well, if he has any other little tidbits like that, we'll get along famously.
I should tell him to mess with Athgar.
You know, Athgar also hasn't been on too many diplomatic missions. He's been pretty much kept close to home, and so it might be good for him to practice a bit. He'll need a lot more of those skills as he moves to be the Lord of Thunder's Edge, and it's an area that his father has somewhat neglected in his education, in his attempt to keep him under his thumb.
You know, I'm not generally as mischievous as you and Airman was as well. And maybe it's not, it's probably not the right time, right? Everybody's pretty upset, but, and I know there's a lot with Athgar, but we could have fun with him right now.
How so? I'm always interested in a good prank.
Well, I'd have to get my father in on it, which I don't think would be a problem, but
Okay.
evidently I asked my father if he had heard anything, because he mentioned the arranged marriage, if he'd heard who might be in the running, and evidently Lord Tremaine messaged my father, and so maybe we could have him interview Athgar as a potential son-in-law.
Oh my god!
I mean, he already said no, but
He asked if you were available? Oh, that
What
red
a broker.
bastard.
I'm sorry. I thought it'd be funny to mess with Athgar though, but maybe not.
No, it will.
Okay. I mean, but I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that rude? I mean, I was right there. Ask me, not my father. I'm a grown-ass woman. Sorry, but she doesn't
Well,
think
Lord
grown-ass
Tremaine
woman.
doesn't think much of women, clearly.
Evidently. But he already said no, but I mean, if we wanted to make Athgar
That's-
a little uncomfortable, but I don't want to make you
that's-
uncomfortable.
No, I'm not uncomfortable. It's just interesting to know that that's what Lord Tremaine seeks in a match for his son. Interesting.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed about it.
No, it's fine. Yes, let's
Gwen, no, let's not. I don't know.
It's
okay.
fine. It's fine. I mean, I think it would be fun to mess with Athgar. He's so serious about this.
Right. But I don't want to hurt you.
Oh, I'm fine. It's not a surprise at all. Of course, he's looking for a noble, and the higher the status, the better. And that makes a lot of sense in terms of protecting the future of Thunder's Edge. So, of course, he wants to find a noble family that will increase the prestige of Thunder's Edge, and that would be best for the clan. So that is in no way unexpected.
It is to me, though.
Why?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a very beneficial match, I wouldn't think. I mean,
Well, he obviously believes that
right, but does
you
that
bring
mean
something?
But does that mean a lot of people have said no?
I wouldn't think, although
Because
certainly Athgar has something of a reputation that might be somewhat difficult to overcome.
I mean,
for
I'm
some.
just saying, I'm old. I've already been married. I'm an adventurer. I'm not exactly,
Are you?
you know what I mean? Like, I'm not what I would think he would be, Lord Tremaine would be looking for. So I'm just wondering.
Well, there's it's more about the families than it is about the individual. So if your family brings with it
Right, but
wealth and prestige, then those other things wouldn't matter.
Right. but a merchant family who is primarily shipping along the water wouldn't bring much to Thunder's Edge. So I'm just curious.
I guess it depends on how deep your family's coffers are.
Does Tremaine need money? I find it curious.
It is curious.
I wouldn't have thought Tremaine would think I was a good match.
I assume that it's both a combination of the wealth that your family would bring and perhaps the prestige of being one of the four. That, especially with your relationship with dragons, that he must anticipate there will be a certain amount of infamy, reputation.
I think it's possible he thought maybe because we're friends, Athgar wouldn't hate it as much, and maybe he was trying to be kind to Athgar.
Given what I know of him, I would assume that would be a secondary or even tertiary consideration. That he would be looking for what's right for Thunder's Edge long before he would look for what's right for Athgar.
Maybe it's not the right time to mess with Athgar, but maybe we should do it later.
I'm always up for messing with Athgar. I think he enjoys it, really. He would deny it, but...
No, well, I want him to not be, we've been telling him my parents are not like other nobles, so maybe now isn't the time. But maybe we can just, at the end of the night, after he's had it, get my father to make just like one comment or something.
I think that would be great. Just let him know that it's being considered, and that'll be enough to fluster him for sure. I'll encourage the match.
Oh my god.
But yeah, at the very end of the night, like just kind of quietly to Athgar without anybody else hearing it.
Indeed, I will.
All right, I guess we should let him get in here.
And if you are serious, you could do worse. He's
Gwen. No,
I'm
not.
He's kind of stupid sometimes, but when he's not, he's getting a lot better, and he wouldn't hate having you. He likes you.
Gwen, I care deeply about Athgar, but I won't marry for anything but love. And I don't love him that way. And
well, he has romantic notions as well. So
I already offered to be his fake girlfriend to throw his father off for a little bit, and he wouldn't even consider that.
Oh.
And
yes.
Gwen,
he would not want anything that would be improper for you.
And I care too much about you.
Well, it's nothing to do with me.
Gwen.
I am a realist.
I know.
I understand how things work, and I'm very well familiar with my place in the world and in my clan. I understand how things have to be.
Right. But your place in this clan matters, and I wouldn't do that.
Thank you. Well, I suppose we should hurry things along so that Athgar can be ready for his evening. I'm looking forward to it more now, so thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh my god.
Well, and also, in case my dad decided on his own to have a little fun, I didn't want you to be caught off guard either.
Thank you. I do appreciate
that. Was
warning.
even on the table.
I do appreciate the advanced warning. That might have caught me a little off guard.
My parents would never arrange a marriage that I did not want or consent to.
Well, that's lovely. I don't think that that's the case in many homes, many families.
Soon we're drying off. Kidding.
Are these clothes okay for what we're going to be doing?
Yeah, we're just
For
having dinner.
I mean, this is what I wear to battle, and it's not exactly...
I mean, I'm not going to wear my armor. I'm going to wear it to dinner, but... I mean, I have plenty of... Oh, we have our other clothes too, right? Probably.
You have whatever you normally travel with.
Right. I mean, I have.
Well, I mean, you've seen what I have. I don't know if it's...
I have 10 outfits in my bag, it says.
Wow. I have...
my encumbrance is clothing.
How do you manage to walk around the damn...
I don't know. I must not carry it all.
I'm guessing that you left some of it at home.
Yeah. I probably don't need
Maybe
too fancy
some of
outfits.
it's in the portable hole.
Yeah, there we go.
We should get some outfits for various occasions and put them there. That could be part of the horde.
Yeah, we have our outfits we wore to dinner with Lord Tremaine.
I borrowed one of yours.
Well,
She did.
you can borrow one again, or you can really wear whatever you want. There's not a dress code. If we were going to dinner at the Lord's Manor, it would be different.
Okay. Well, I think probably one of these days I should get a proper ambassador's outfit. If I'm to be in this role, I need to look the part, whereas right now my clothing reflects being a scout and not necessarily being an ambassador. So I'll put that on my list of things to do. If you can, is there a good modiste here in town?
Definitely.
Well, if we're here long enough, then maybe I'll look into that.
We could have measurements taken before we leave, and then my mother's, I don't know what to call her person could probably arrange to have everything ordered and ready for us when we get back.
Seamstress?
Wonderful.
Or like...
Attendants, she has like a
Ladies' maid?
ladies maid, but that just sounds pretentious. I don't like that.
Doesn't it? Sure, I think that would be wonderful. And I'm sure that the folks here that your family knows would be much better able to choose something appropriate than I would. This is not my area of expertise. I'm kind of one, I'm known for being invisible. So finding something that makes me less invisible is really not something I have any experience with.
We should, though, get something in, because I'm sure we'll want things for the festival.
It's a good plan. We should actually suggest that to the others as well, because if as Dragonkin we are representing them as well, then they may have expectations about our appearance that we wouldn't want to disappoint.
We walk out. Do you know where Athgar's room is?
She does.
I probably saw where he went, right?
Yep.
As we were waiting.
You see Amnon standing outside the room. Are you finished?
Yes.
Yes. Could you point me in the direction of Lord Athgar's accommodations?
Oh, yes. He is 2 doors past your room on the same side of the hallway.
So I go and...
Please tell him 3 minutes, and I shall have the chamber redone for him.
Thank you. So
And
I
he
head to his room.
walks into the bathing chamber.
And I knock on the door.
Yes.
Oh, Lord Athgar.
Oh, Jesus.
Is how I should refer to you.
What is it? Earth skin.
As we are here in roles as our diplomatic selves, should I refer to you as Lord Athgar, as I usually would in company that doesn't know you?
Damn, that's actually a very good question. I think we ask Aribell, and whatever she says, that's what we do. She's the person who has intimate knowledge of this particular situation, so she'll know everything.
Okay, we'll do that. The bath is being prepared for you and should be ready in probably another 3 minutes or so.
Excellent.
Okay. Enjoy.
I'll try.
I'll head back to my room and...
Gwen, make an insight check.
Let's see. Insight. $20, but that's a dirty 20.
As you turn around to walk back towards your room, it hits you. Athgar's nervous.
I stop and turn and look at him and say, "You're not nervous, are you?"
Make a persuasion check.
$14.
No. No, not really. Why? Does it show?
Athgar, you are the heir apparent to Thunder's Edge. You're here traveling with the Four as an adventurer. What do you have to be nervous about? This is your venue. These are your people.
This is Father's old war buddy.
Yes.
That makes me nervous.
What are you afraid that he'll say or do?
I don't
or
know.
that you'd say or do?
I don't know. I don't know what to expect. And that always puts me a little on edge.
He'll tell war stories about your dad, dick that he is, and you'll tell war stories about your adventures with us, which will endear you because they're stories about his daughter. You've nothing to fear.
We'll see.
Plus, you have me. I'll have your back.
Well, I appreciate that.
You really can count on me. I'm here as an ambassador. I won't let either of us fail when it comes to representing Thunder's Edge. That is my duty.
Well, here's hoping that I won't make more work for you tonight.
I know you won't. You're good at this. Just be you. If you have to, bring the loot.
No. If we need music, that honor would certainly go to Tasha, not me.
I think anyone that can tell a story as well as you can will be just fine at a family dinner.
I hope so.
I will
But
try to keep the pranks to a minimum.
Oh, I do appreciate that. but unless I'm going to be late for said dinner, I should probably go bathe.
You should. You're very dirty.
Well, I did have a fireball explode on me.
Yeah. You're missing a little bit of your eyebrow right there.
I wonder if mending works on that.
Worth a shot. I'm gonna go get dressed. This towel is rather drafty.
And you see Athgar sort of go, and you realize for the first time that you were standing there in a towel. Like it just made it through the fog. That's a very good idea. It's probably cold.
It is. See ya. I walk to
bye.
my room. Yep. And are my clothes in my room?
Mm-hmm.
Great. I put them on since they're what I have.
Okay.
I do leave off the armor. Or the
Okay.
outerwear.
About 10 minutes later, there's a knock at all your doors. And it's the tiefling who informs you that dinner will be ready in about 10 minutes, and you should feel free to make your way down to the dining room, and Aribell will show you the way.
I'd probably make my way back to where they're at by then.
Mm-hmm. And you see Athgar step out of his room, and he's dressed up as much as he has with him.
Does Gwenlauren need her clothing refreshed?
No, it's been cleaned.
Oh, okay.
But you see Athgar is wearing, like, he has polished his boots. And he's wearing, good pants and a very sort of puffy white shirt and a royal blue vest.
I tease him a little.
What was the title? He said Lord Skin? What was it? I'm asking you, Jeff.
Yeah, Lord Skend.
Again.
Well, make a history check, Aribell. Because you've run across this, but not blatantly.
24.
24. You think about it for a second, and then you remember that in the particular tribal culture from Thunder's Edge, children take their mother's surname.
Oh, matriarchal.
Yes.
So he's not Tremaine.
He is not Tremaine.
Matrilineal.
He is
Oh.
Skend,
Skend.
which was his mother's maiden name.
I think I've always called him Tremaine.
Yep.
Interesting. Skend. Lord Skend, you're looking quite dashing this evening.
Too much? I could change.
You look great.
Okay. Gwen and I were talking, and we did have a question. Should we refer to each other by our titles at dinner?
No.
Okay.
That would be awkward.
All right.
Right. I mean, don't you think? We don't call each other by titles when we're not here, so.
No, but we aren't dining in a noble's manor house either.
Right, but my parents may refer to you by title. I don't know for sure. Maybe. And like when we dined with your father, we called him Lord Tremaine, but we didn't call you anything but Athgar. in front of him, so.
True. All right, that makes me feel a little better.
And he didn't seem offended that we didn't call you by your title, so. And your father's pretty stuffy.
Yes, he is.
Does anyone call your father by a nickname ever?
Never in his hearing.
Come follow me.
You see Athgar struggling to not smile. And he says, I will admit there is one that I always thought was very telling and rather funny.
What's that?
Thunderthroat.
So I'll lead the way. I loop my arm through Athgar's and I go, My dad keeps calling him Sengi.
No. Did he?
No, I asked if he called him that to his face. He said no.
Oh, I was going to say
But I might have told Gwen Lauren that he calls him that, so I'm sure it will happen.
No.
So just try not to laugh when it does.
It took me a moment to even remember that Father has a first name.
When we were here before, I can't remember what they would have said. I can't remember, Pam, what Tasha and Zorith, what my parents had them call them. Did we use Lord and Lady Thebes or Lord and Lady their first name or just their first name?
I think it's just their first names.
Probably
yeah.
when I entered.
Well, it was a mishmash. For your mother, it was Lady Lahrana, but for your father, it was Ormond.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Because he, as is usual, was kind of like, But your mother, on the other hand...
Hey, she's not snooty. She probably just wouldn't think to correct it. But not Lady Thebes. That would be...
No.
That's way too formal.
Yes. As you walk into the dining room, you see there are clearly seats for everyone. Your father is not there, but your mother is in her usual place at his right. And she stands as you walk in.
Hello, Mother.
Aribell.
Sorry for the unannounced visit.
I am just happy to see you.
You remember Tasha and Zori?
Of course. Welcome back.
Pleased to be here. Thank you.
And I see there are some new people.
This is Lord Skend of Thunder's Edge, Athgar.
Oh, Lord Tremaine's son. We've heard of you. You see Athgar just kind of go.
And this is Gwen Lauren. She is the, I can't say, Krath Magal. Is that close?
Wraith McDowell.
Craith Magdal.
Aribell can say it. Pam can.
Well,
Of the Lion
a
Queen.
rare pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Please, sit. Your father will be joining us shortly. He is late as usual.
I'll tease Athgar a little bit. Athgar, you should sit here as the highest ranking guest.
But I am.
It is proper.
I will sit wherever it would please the lady that I sit. Oh, so formal. You may sit anywhere you like. Except, of course, there, because that is Ormond's chair. Although he probably wouldn't mind. So if you like that seat, you could sit there too. I will just sit over here.
Athgar's a little nervous, Mother.
Oh, why would you be nervous? Dinner with my daughter and her friends. It's not something to be nervous about. Thank you, Lady Lahrana. This is my first time dealing with a noble house of the northern lands, and I know that things are different between the nobles here in the capital and the clans in Thunder's Edge, and I hope you will pardon me if I inadvertently give offense. This is all new. You'll be fine. Don't worry. Just sit, relax. We will have some food, and we will get to know each other a little.
I sit down.
We all sit down.
All right, I'm here. Sorry, I just got caught up in yet more paperwork. Yes, this is always your excuse, dear. Yes, and it's always true. Well, oh good, everyone's here.
Father, may I introduce you to my friends Athgar and Gwynlauren?
Your ladyship ambassador. It's a pleasure to make
To meet you.
pleasure to make your acquaintance. And so you're Tremaine's boy. Hold on, I'm gonna. Oh God, yeah. He just stares at Athgar for a good 10 seconds while Athgar gets a little pale. And then he looks over at Aribell and says, "He seems healthy enough. If you're interested, I approve." And you see Athgar go, "What?"
And I say,
Wait,
I agree. It would be a fine match.
wait, but I already... What? Oh yes, your father contacted me to see if I would be at all interested in you marrying my daughter. At which
I would
point
be
Athgar
happy
starts
to carry-
coughing.
Yes, I would be happy to carry your response back to Lord Tremaine, should you have a message you'd like me to carry to him.
Oh.
I'm not laughing. Sorry, go ahead.
Well,
I was going to look
that-
at those two.
that would be really entirely up to Aribell. If she's interested in joining the nobility in Thunder's Edge, I certainly would not vouchsay her decision. I mean, marrying the heir apparent to the entire city. That's definitely a step up from our level of nobility.
Lady Aribell, should I start that message process now?
I hadn't quite thought of it that way, Father. I'll have to consider that carefully.
And Athgar is just, like, pale and sputtering at this point. And you see your mother go, "Stop teasing the boy, Ormond. Can't you see he's nervous enough? They're just trying to be funny. Yes, your father did contact us, but we said no." Because if the great Lord Tremaine thinks that he can objectify my daughter with such a sending, he is sorely mistaken. And Athgar looks at her, looks at Ormond, looks at Aribell, looks at Gwen.
I wink at Athgar when he looks at me.
I give him a little elbow in the ribs.
Looks back at Aribell's mom and says, "So, Father actually did contact you about arranging a marriage for me with Aribell?" "Well, yes, my wife is correct. We did say no. But he actually tried."
Wow. That's really weird.
Agreed.
Slightly flattering.
I mean, sure.
It was arrogant of him, but I would expect nothing less.
Well, it's a little rude. I mean, we were right there. He could have asked us.
It's incredibly rude. And I would like to formally apologize for my father's lack of manners and decorum. Ooh, look at that. Well, I believe in this instance I can say with some certainty that the fruit has fallen quite far from the tree, and is all the better for it.
Athgar, they were only teasing.
But you understand what this means, Gwen.
You knew he was trying.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, but I had no idea that he would be so bold as to...
This is important to him, and you know how he is when he gets his... When he gets the bit in his teeth, he's very single-minded.
I mean, in some ways, I mean, I don't know if I was, his first choice or his 10th, but I mean, at least he considered someone that you actually are friendly with.
I'm fairly sure that was
I know,
happy
but
coincidence.
I'm trying to make you feel better.
Well, he tried to reach out to an old friend from wartime who happens to have a daughter that he happens to know, and apparently he thinks favorably of you, but I knew this for what it was. He's casting his lure out into as many ponds as he possibly can, so that he can try to negotiate the best deal possible. I am certain that it had very little to do with his son, and more to do with securing an alliance that will further his interests in the region. Now that does sound like father.
With that in mind, perhaps we can talk about other ways that such alliances might be secured.
I'd be interested in pursuing that topic, perhaps after dinner.
Very well.
At this point, you see a female dwarf come into the room, rolling a large tray, and with very little decorum, she starts putting out plates in front of people that are full of food. And that is where we'll take a break. So we'll pick this back up after the main course, after we take a break. So we'll be back in 15. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back. So the main course is now complete. Lovely, rather piquant chicken dish.
Picanti?
You say it your way, I'll say it mine.
Okay.
I think he meant piquant, not picanti.
Correct.
Okay.
Not like salsa chicken,
No.
piquant chicken.
Yes.
Oh.
That is exactly what I meant.
Pecan chicken, is that like a little sweet with like a crust and a little bit of filling and some nuts?
Could be, but that's not what you had either.
Oh, rats.
Sorry.
Man, now I'm hungry.
We just ate.
I know.
All right. So there is sort of a comfortable lull in the conversation at the table as everyone's sort of digesting the fowl.
Okay.
Zorith isn't going to say anything, so.
Aribell,
Neither is Tasha.
your mother looks over at you and says, "So, what is it that brings you back? We haven't seen you in some time."
We escorted the sprite back to Erman. We had a little bit of time before the festival, and I wanted to check in and see you all before we head out of town again.
Do you know how long you're going to stay this time?
Probably not more than a day or two, I think.
I ask because there are things that, should you be in town, you should make an appearance at. But if you're not going to be in town, then we will make your excuses as we usually do.
That's the benefit of having married beneath my station. I don't have to go to all those anymore, right?
We would still like you to attend if you are able.
You know, I would love to accompany you whenever I can.
It would stop some tongues from wagging. Not that we pay them any mind, but less intelligent people might.
About
Which
what?
tongues would it stop wagging?
Can we get them?
Mostly it's Nearguard and their followers. But, you know, they absolutely delight in stirring up whatever trouble they can and taking advantage of it, so we just don't pay them any mind, and that seems to frustrate them. One of the tricks I've learned is if someone's trying to get a rise out of you, a polite laughter and then ignoring them tends to diffuse that fairly well.
Tell them I'm off saving the realm. And
Oh, yes, we do. We do. We regale them with what stories we do know.
well, if we end up being here more than a couple of days, maybe we can join. I can attend something.
Well, I was talking before. It may behoove us to take the time to get some attire made. And so if we spent a little time here in town while that's happening, then we'd have it in time, perhaps, for the big festival.
Well, I would be more than happy to help you with that. I have a very talented seamstress who I don't know if she would have time to actually construct, but we could send out for the actual creation of the garments, but she could certainly take measurements and perhaps do some rough sketches if you had ideas.
We need to have something that would be appropriate for the festival. I think we need to look the part.
You are correct. Well, on the other hand, Lahrana, remember that they are professional adventurers, and take no offense at this, but no one expects you to show up looking noble.
No, not noble. But we are also considered dragonkin, and as such, I think we are supposed to represent in a way that would be appropriate.
All right. I'll bite. What does dragonkin mean?
Ooh.
Well, we're
we are-
family.
We are considered clan with the dragons. They have adopted us. We're honorary members.
Then may I ask, and I apologize if this causes you, Zorith, any embarrassment, but does that mean the rest of you will be getting the...
No. Just sorry.
I absent-mindedly act like I forgot because I totally forgot. And I just... No. Just me.
She's not just dragonkin.
She's Soulkin. She carried
A memory.
a memory, and she's dragon touched, I think, is probably the best. Description.
And you see your mother kind of go, and she's looking very intently at Zorith.
Yes?
This is very, very interesting. This designation is known to me. This is something that was spoken of by the great elven mages.
I'm curious to hear.
It was a bonding of sorts that eventually they were I forget the correct term, but there were chosen pairings of elven warriors and mages with dragons, and they would fight as teams. Dragonback. And it was said that they were able to communicate with their minds across great distances. And when one was in danger, the other would know. If this is the same, then the decoration, if I may, is just the beginning.
Okay.
May I inquire? I do not know names or political structure of these metallic dragons that we have heard so much about. But the one that you appear to be bonding with, who is that?
Tasa Pranatiel?
The leader of the dragons, or speaker of the dragons.
So
She's a gold.
I would assume from the color of the scales, she is the speaker of the dragons. What does that translate into from a human political hierarchy?
She's their leader.
Nominated by the others to be the person who speaks for the group.
So you have become soulkin with the leader of all of these hundreds of good dragons that have returned to the world.
We're kind of a big deal.
Your mother just gives you this withering look, like, no.
It's something I say. I apologize. It's a bit of an inside joke.
No, it's fine, but I think I see where my wife is headed. I guess that Zorith, you of course would be able to make this choice, but given that information, you would have rank at least equal to your friend the ambassador.
You are. Oh yes, you are an ambassador of dragons.
You are. I mean, you're the link between us and the dragons.
No, but see, nobody needs to know that, because as soon as they know that, I become a target.
Oh, we don't need to tell anybody.
Well, let's be honest, and you were already a bit of a target. The song did that.
Mm-hmm.
And one has only to look at you, Zoria, and see the rest. I mean, some of it's visible.
She's not wrong.
I can definitely have someone fashion a piece that goes around my head and hides it.
If you wish to, but how will the dragons interpret that?
Ooh.
You should be proud.
I am proud.
Then you should wear it proudly for everyone to see.
I agree.
Let me ask you this. Correct me if I am wrong, but I sense that you are not particularly comfortable with any of the attention that might come your way because of this.
Right?
I would ask why. Are you not happy to be so linked with the metallic dragons?
I'm very happy. I'm just afraid that I won't do their legacy justice. And it's a lot to try to live up to, and I definitely don't want to let them down.
Then don't.
I've already made mistakes today. I just
And
don't know if I want to.
And you will make more. You are young yet. You have, I'm guessing, probably centuries still ahead of you. And life is a learning experience. I would say do not hide what you are. If memory serves, and you follow what I have been told about the elven soulkin, you will not be able to hide it for much longer.
What else have you heard?
there were stories about the Soulkin flying with their dragon partners,
Right.
but not
Dragonback.
not mounted, but side by side.
Oh.
That would be consistent with what we've heard.
Like that you'll be able to fly, right?
Yes.
You may be able to feel them starting to emerge on your back now. They usually came in after the scales manifested, and I will say, your scales are very muted compared to some that I have read about, where most of their body ended up covered.
Oh. I have had some itchy shoulders, but I haven't seen anything or felt anything. I guess I'll keep an eye on it.
You will know. If you are in fact going to grow wings, they will make themselves known.
I mean, I think it was put out there, maybe, but I guess I didn't think it would happen.
And
See?
I, if I may add, you say that you're worried that it's going to make you a target. I would suggest that it may actually offer you some more protection than you have now. Because if it is clear that you are linked to these dragons, then anyone who sees you is going to realize that to attack you is to perhaps incur their wrath. And I can tell you, quite with no hesitation, that at least here in Erma, anything that would incur the wrath of a dragon form is avoided. People here are
Scared.
terrified, and they will do anything to supposedly protect themselves. There have been, I don't know how many different charlatans claiming to have talismans or oils or salves of some kind that are dragon repellents, and that if you wear them or coat yourself in them, the dragons will leave you alone. And, well, let's just say that several of them are not around to understand their mistake.
Ooh.
So there is a large understanding, especially amongst the nobles, but I believe amongst the regular folk and the army as well, that anything that incurs the wrath of a dragon is to be avoided at all costs, because said wrath is incredibly painful. Now, this is based on what we have seen from the red ones and the white ones and those kind. I don't know if the metallic dragons would respond in a similar manner, but no one else does either.
It's a good point.
It's a very good point. I guess we'll have to discuss that with our friend when they come by the next time. Okay.
But in the meantime, I think we probably want to find something for the festival that will be appropriate.
Oh, yes, that we
Good
were
point.
originally talking about it. Yes, perhaps after breakfast in the morning, if that would work for you. I would be happy to bring you to my salon, and Wei will be there, and she can consult and perhaps take measurements and do some rough sketches, and at least sort of talk out a little bit what you might like, what choices are available. She has a very good idea of what is currently purchasable in terms of material. In Irma at the moment, there are some shortages because of the attacks, but she will know what there is and what there isn't.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
It will be my pleasure. I don't often get to dress up my daughter, let alone my daughter's friends.
Dear me.
I could probably use a little bit of a wardrobe refresh if it will make you happy, Mother.
Look at her face. Of course it's going to make her happy. She's already lost in thought. You've just opened the flood doors to the artistic mindset. She'll be useless for the rest of the night.
Before you get too lost in that thought, Mother, I wanted to see if you'd finished the commission we spoke of.
Okay, remind me what the commission was.
That's the present for Lord Bonethane that Aribell asked her to do.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh yes, that is finished.
Okay. I'd like to deliver it to him in case we're not here for the festival so that he can unveil it at the festival. So perhaps tomorrow we can stop by the keep.
Well, we are currently experiencing Ormond, how would you term it? A lull. Yes, a lull in the attacks.
That's good.
Well, we may know why that lull has occurred.
Really? And is it something that we could make public knowledge, or at least something you could tell me?
Well, we spoke with the metallic dragons, at least with our connection, Tassa, and they were going to run some guard missions along the coastline in order to protect the shore better from the attacks that had been occurring. And she said that we should notice a significant decrease in those attacks in the coming days.
Really?
They've set up a perimeter.
We think we may have seen one as we were traveling.
And
have you informed Captain Warbender? Have you informed Lord Bonethane?
not yet.
Not yet.
You're the first we've told.
Really? Don't you think that's something you should have passed along to your commanding officers?
Well,
really,
we got here
when
and
you found it?
As soon as we got here, we got attacked. So
yeah, it's been a long day.
We've barely We've barely had a moment's peace to have such a discussion. But we probably could send him a message and let him know.
Are you all right?
all of us are fine. We are fine.
It just took a toll.
We're made of hardy stock.
We lived.
Wow.
What does that mean?
Everyone lived that we care about.
It's all right. It was the tavern keeper of the Shouting Pirate, but he's fine now. Oh. Well, good. But it's very dangerous out there, and I am worried now that you are not taking sufficient care.
That's what I said when Athgar died.
He's better now.
I'm fine. And she just looks at Ormond, and Ormond says, I know, but she's an adult. Even by your standards, she's an adult. And she gets to make her own choices.
That may be, but I do not want to bury my daughter.
Well, then we should do everything possible to help her and her friends, don't you think?
I suppose.
You see Lahrana just kind of sit back, and she doesn't look happy. No, really, it's Lady Lahrana, I'm fine. Patched up, good as new.
I was able to heal him, Mother.
It was lucky that Aribell was there to bring him back.
Torora watches over us wherever we go. And if Father Dilbus's recent commune with her is to be believed, we have far bigger destinies ahead, so we should be fine.
Really? This sounds like a good story and a blessed change of topic. So, what do you mean? Please tell us what happened.
We were recently at the Citadel and got to visit with Father Dilbus, which was lovely. And I think he said for the first time, had a clear vision from Torora about each of us.
True. I forgot about that.
Really? That's fascinating. It was not fascinating.
Some
It really wasn't.
Some were more welcome than some are very personal. But
And you see Athgar just kind of sneak a quick glance at Gwen and then goes back to looking at his plate.
Just looking horrified.
But it does seem like she's not finished with us yet. So
You see
the
your
gods are never finished.
You see your dad kind of, he looks at Athgar, looks at Gwen, looks back at Athgar and goes, I see.
Hold on just a second. I really should send a message to Warbender. Warbender. The Metallics have recently set up a perimeter. This should give you some relief from the dragon attacks. You can reply if you'd like to.
are you just in your head, right?
There's a pause, and then you hear back,
When did this happen? I mean, that's fantastic fucking news. But is it new news? Or are you just getting around to telling me?
Brand new, Dasha.
So crabby.
I don't reply.
okay,
That's going to go over well. This is fine. Oh no.
What? I'm sorry. There's a bad connection.
I can't hear you. You're not coming through.
I've got no
Going through a
bars. I've got no bars.
In a tunnel, inside of a dragon.
I'm in-
No, I've got no bards.
Ah!
Come on, that was ripe for the taking.
Well done. Well done.
Nikki wins.
Tip of the hat.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
should get inspiration for that.
She really should.
I've got
that
no
was-
bards.
That was brilliant.
Well, Ormond says, well, would anyone care for a nightcap?
Oh, yes.
None for me, thank you, husband. I think I am going to go and meditate. But
I will see you in the morning. And, Lord Athgar, you are welcome as well if you require some additional clothing.
He could use some warm weather gear.
Well,
that's
yes,
true.
but I think we could just pick that up, can't we?
Yes.
And
Unless
while
he
we-
wants something particular.
No, I would just like to be warm.
He's not super picky about clothes, Gwen. You know that.
I know. I thought that he might want to have a hand in choosing, but that's certainly up to him.
Well,
Oh,
I'll look through what I have available to me, Lady Lahrana, and it may very well be that I will join all of you tomorrow morning. And I thank you for including me. Of course. You travel with my daughter and her friends. You are a friend as well. Oh, I'm honored. She gets up, walks over, and just kind of pats Athgar on the shoulder. And as she's leaving, you hear her kind of chuckle. Such a polite young man.
Is very polite.
Whew. Well, that went better than I thought.
Oh?
We don't usually talk about the bloodier aspects of Aribell's life in front of her mother.
Oh.
Yeah, we try not to talk about dying.
This would have been good information to have before dinner.
Yeah, sorry.
So noted. But she seemed to handle it, I'd say, pretty well. And definitely better than she would have just even a couple years ago.
Maybe she's getting used to your antics.
Well, I think it's possible she might actually be recognizing that Aribell is growing up.
Oh, I think Arabella is actually grown up, period. But that's just me. How old are you now, Arabelle? In elf years?
Well, I'm only a half elf.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm 25,
See, that's grown up.
26. I don't know that I'll ever be grown in her eyes.
I don't know what that's like.
Well, I can tell you this. I've seen you fight. Or at least seen you train. I'm satisfied.
That's wonderful.
We might be able to stay a few days, but probably not much longer.
It's very possible we will end up going to deal with the end. Really needs to be dealt with.
All right. Again, lacking a bit of information necessary for understanding. What does deal with the end? And I'm assuming you mean Strafsomans.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to liberate the city.
Burn it to the ground.
Pretty much.
I don't know.
Which? Because
Yes.
they're not the same thing.
Well,
Well-
we're going to liberate the city.
By burning most of it to the ground.
Well, I don't know if we're going to burn most of it to the ground, but the
I do.
slavers won't be there anymore. And maybe the people that were slaves would like the city and they can run it. But
All right.
I mean, we don't want them to not have homes.
Yes, but it's going to need so much sage. So much
Cleansing.
sage.
With fire.
Well, I might just burn a few buildings.
or a few blocks, and then
I'm gonna try to just keep it contained.
Why don't you all come with me for a moment?
All right.
We'll get that nightcap, but I have something that I think might be useful.
All right.
I was hoping.
So he gets up and
We follow him.
leads you down a couple hallways and into what is clearly his study. Aribell knows this already. And he says, sit anywhere you like. And, Aribell, you know where the brandy is. Feel free. It's going to take me a moment to put my hands on this, but you should be relaxed in the meantime. And he goes over to a large, wide, deep cabinet with very narrow drawers.
Ooh.
And starts pulling them open and shuffling through paper.
I pour drinks
I drink drinks.
as I hand Zori hers. I need to just whisper. I need to talk to you before bed tonight, though.
I nod. While like getting ready to drink. Like I've got like some kind of crazy something wrong with me.
Having never had brandy, I just drink it like it's a shot. Put it down.
Yum. That sounds delicious.
And you see Athgar, who's just finished his first sip, kind of look at you like,
I like brandy too.
I pour her another.
Are you supposed to sip this?
sip.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, for a year this good, it is to be savored.
I look at my glass. It's still full.
I'm not sure I know what that means, but okay.
Take just a sip and let it sit on your tongue for a few seconds, because you may notice the flavor changes ever so slightly. That's the mark of a good brandy. And then you can swallow it. But
I
it's
squish a little.
it's a bit the difference between a simple rolled tobacco cigarette and a cigar. The cigar is to be savored. The cigarette is just to be smoked.
I don't like either of those, but okay.
Well, nor do I, but I'm going on what I have been told from those who do.
All right.
Aha! And Ormond pulls out this piece of parchment, walks over and sort of shoves things to the side on his desk, and sits down a piece of paper and says, "If you will join me."
I come over with my glass.
Same.
And you see a rough map of what looks to be a walled city that's kind of split down the middle.
Is this the end?
What my team and I were able to map the few times we ventured there. I can tell you at least the basic layout, at least in the public section. This section to the north that is mostly just empty space, that is Strafsoman. That is where the Strafsoman family and their retainers and those merchants who serve solely them are quartered.
Player to game master.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where I grew up?
Yup.
I know it.
I would imagine you do. But I know the public area, the merchant section of town much better. And as you can see, some of them have names, and I can tell you what I do know about them. There are guards loyal to the Strafsomans who regularly patrol the merchant area. And I use the term guards very loosely. They are much more likely to strike first and ask questions later. And the powers that be support that type of behavior because it keeps the merchants in line. Sometimes they can be convinced to look elsewhere through the liberal use of gold. Other times, even that will not stop them. The other thing I would warn you, this is not something I know for certain, but something that I felt. It is very, very difficult to know who in the merchant section knows how to keep their mouth shut, and who will immediately wander to the nearest representative of the Strafsomans and tell them everything.
Fair enough.
So I would say, until you are absolutely certain, don't trust anybody.
That is how I lived my whole childhood.
I will... Oh, that's right, he's gone. Well, I'll ask Alice. She's not quite the same deft hand as Farron, but she can do it. I'll ask Alice to make a copy of this and see that you leave with it. At least you'll have some idea of what you're getting into.
Tasha, maybe you can fill in some of the blank spots on the walled part of the compound.
What do I remember?
Where's his keep?
We'll have to figure that out when the time comes.
Okay.
But you and I can do that offline
Mm-hmm.
and have it ready for, when you need the map.
Did you say Farron is gone, Father?
He's consulting. Bonethane actually asked him to consult how to best use the halfling soldiers in the army when it comes to fighting something as large and mobile as dragons. So he's here, he's just the keep. But Alice is here somewhere, and I'll find her before I retire for the evening, and make certain that she gets to work on this right away.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Well, if I can help, I will. I'll also... I may talk to Dean and see if there's anything that he remembers that I don't, because he was with me the last time we actually tried to make a run. But either way, at least you'll have some idea what you're getting into. The general layout, and hopefully that will be helpful.
Well,
All right. Well, if I know your mother, she's going to want to get started nice and early in the morning. So I should probably let you all turn in. But I'm
not
very...
fair that she only needs half as much rest as you do.
Oh, believe me. Preaching to the choir, daughter.
I look at Zori.
True.
But it was a pleasure to see you again, Tasha, Zorith, and a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Gwenlaren and Athgar.
And yours.
Thank you for your hospitality. Of course. And, Aribell, come give your father a kiss before you go to bed. I don't get these very often.
She does.
Sleep well, all of you, and if you need anything at all during the night, I don't think Amnon ever sleeps. He'll probably be outside your door before you open it, somehow knowing that you needed something. But regardless, feel free to ask him.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us stay.
Of course, this is your home. You are welcome here at any time, and your friends are welcome with you.
Thank you. Get some rest.
He finishes his brandy, sets the glass down, and nods to everybody and heads out. You see Athgar kind of looking after him as he leaves, and once he's convinced that he's actually gone, he immediately turns back, looks at Aribell. Is this...
We're not getting married.
No.
Sassy.
Are you sure? I could send a diplomatic message.
Please stop. Please
No.
stop.
We were just having a little fun.
It was not at all fun.
Oh, stop your belly aching.
It was.
I only had advanced warning. That's why I wasn't shocked. He told me when I came to speak with my father earlier.
So, is this tonight? Is this normal behavior for nobles in Aecathan or in Armagh?
I would say it's probably normal in someone's own home, but it won't be normal. Like if we have to actually go to an event, it's normal within our house. But there's different houses that have different styles.
I will say, I was somewhat surprised to actually feel almost sad at one point this evening. This was the information about father trying to arrange the match notwithstanding. This was actually a rather enjoyable evening, and I don't think I've ever had an evening like that with my own father.
How old were you when your mother died, Athgar?
I think I was... Well, let's see. I was 8 when Gwenlaren was assigned to my care.
To your care. To providing your care, perhaps.
That's what I meant. And it was what, 2 years after that. So I
So-
think I was probably 10 or 11.
So, was it different then? Was he different?
I think, maybe. My memories of that time are more of her than him. He was often busy, but she always made time for a meal, a story, a walk. Yes, maybe he was lighter? I don't quite know how to describe it.
He was happier when your mother was alive. He was less of a dick.
Ah,
He wasn't as cold as he is now, as ruthless as he is now. I mean, not that he was ever warm and fuzzy to me, but I could see that he had moments of kind of general enjoyment, and that seems to be gone. He seems to be solely focused now on his empire.
Sometimes you substitute one thing for another to distract yourself from what you feel.
I think that's probably what he's done.
that's
And you put everything into it because otherwise you'd have to face your feelings.
that's not good, though. You have to face your feelings at some point, don't you?
Unfortunately, when it breaks, and it could break, but when all of the shoving off of and putting aside all of the emotion, it can get messy and it can get crowded, and you can start to do things that are poor judgment, and then things break. But we'll hope not for a while.
It does seem that he's doing everything he can to ensure he leaves you a legacy and that you're set to rule. So
That's true.
I think it's for you in the only way he knows how to anymore.
Well, again, new experience. I actually feel sorry for him, but only a little.
He could be happier.
He could be more understanding. He could recognize that, yes, I will take over when he abdicates or passes away, but that I will do things my own way.
I think that's where you two disagree. I think he figures you don't know the way, so he will set everything in motion so that his way, his vision, is achieved.
It seems almost foolish. It's not a word I would ever use to describe Father, but
Perhaps short-sighted.
Sometimes grief makes you blind.
perhaps. He must realize that once he is no longer in charge, that I will do things as I see them best. That
He hasn't gotten that far.
He thinks you'll do things as he sees best, because that's what he's taught you to do, and that's what he's set up, what he's set in motion.
Well, I suppose I hope for his sake that he doesn't decide to abdicate.
Oh, he'll hold onto those reins nice and tight until the last possible second.
Well,
to make sure that you do things the way he wants. That's his nature.
Probably also much like my mother, a reluctance to see that you've grown up.
Yes, I did notice a certain resemblance in behavior, although she was much nicer about it. She expressed concern, whereas father would just express disgust and anger.
She's kind.
You're very fortunate to have both parents still.
I am.
This was interesting. Not what I expected.
No, not what I expected either.
What did you expect?
Orders, you know, being told what to do and discipline if you did not obey.
No, I didn't expect that, but I did expect a bit more pomp. A bit.
That's what we have Amnon for.
Yes, and please do not take this as any sort of negative comment, for I do not mean it as such, but I think I just expected something fancier.
I have no doubt they can be fancy when they want to.
If they're anything like the families, of course they can.
Right, but this was a family dinner.
I don't think I've ever attended a family dinner.
I've never attended a family dinner like this.
These are the only family dinners I've ever gotten. I'm not even really sure who my father is, and my mother got sold into slavery. So, you know, the only one here who, well, I would say Aribell got the best childhood out of the six of us, but Athgar, your childhood wasn't as bad as ours was.
Well, I take that back. Now that we're family, we've had dinners together, so I guess I have had family dinners. I just hadn't thought that through before.
That is nice. I like that.
Me too.
Yes, all of our dinners are family dinners.
Indeed.
And I will say I do appreciate you letting me take part.
What do you mean?
Well, I am very aware of the fact that I am not a member of the Four.
Yes, you are.
You are.
Then there needs to be a name change.
No, we're still going to be the Four.
It's
Six
more
of us
of a
with Aramis.
feeling.
Well,
It's more of a moniker of the group, not necessarily a number.
The 6 or the 5 doesn't have the same ring.
No, we're the 4. All of us.
Athgar, have you not figured out that you're adopted?
You mean my father is not actually my father?
No. By us.
Oh,
If only.
Oh.
We all kind of think of you as
You
our
scared me for a
little
moment.
brother.
Well, thanks.
Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have been so worried when you died if you weren't part of us. We wouldn't have tried so hard to convince you to escape your father if you weren't one of us.
Well, I thought you were just
And-
being kind.
Oh. I'm not that kind.
Well, I think you sell yourself short. But, as you say.
I stopped asking you to leave.
I think
See?
that was supposed to be a compliment.
Well, I did sort of poison that particular well. So,
What do you mean by that?
He gave me an ultimatum.
I did.
Well, that was crazy.
Well, it seemed the only logical way to make the point that she could not have her preferred baked good and eat it as well. I told her if she truly wanted me to leave that I would, but that would also necessitate severing lines of communication.
So basically, I could lose him to death or I could lose him through his choice. And that was my choice.
She's not gonna forget that one.
Nope.
Well, it's worked out so far.
Yes, it just made it clear that you could eliminate me from your life without a second thought. On that note, I think I'm going to call it an evening. It's been a long and trying day.
Same.
I set down my brandy untouched and go to bed.
I drink her brandy, and then I go to bed.
You see, as you pick up the glass, you see that Athgar was starting to reach for it.
Athgar, I can pour you another.
I just didn't want it to go to waste. It's very good.
Yes, it is.
Get some rest.
Good night, you all.
Good night. As you wander back toward your rooms, ready to turn in for the evening, you two wanted to have a chat?
Yes, I stick around.
I was hoping I could ask you a favor.
Yeah, anything.
I've been listening when you talk to Tassa and the other dragons, and I think I have little bits of it, but I was hoping you could teach me more.
Teach you Draconic. I'd love
And
to
I
teach
say yes, please, in very broken Draconic, not the right pronunciation.
Horribly accented.
you. And I repeat it back to her the way it's supposed to be. And
then I repeat it back the way she said.
yeah. And I say, of course, in Draconic. And we can stay up for as long as you'd like tonight trying to learn it. Now, can I write it?
Yeah. Yeah, you have the full language in your head now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I know I'm not going to learn it all tonight, but
Sure.
No.
um,
And I, of course, don't know what you want to learn. I've never taught anything before, so we'll just learn as we go.
thanks.
You're welcome.
So
Interesting. I have this language that I now know and another language that I've heard and don't understand in my head.
What's that?
I don't know. There have been things that I've read or heard. Shoot, I can't remember if I've read them or if I've heard them. Hold on. Like things that other people have said or read from books that I know, and I don't know what it is. At least I know this one. I know the origin. So, and it's so pretty. I like it. And we spend some time going over whatever she wants to know.
And avoiding talking about JoJo, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Zori's not ready to have that conversation.
Oh, no. No, she's not going to be ready to have that conversation probably ever.
It's a
Certainly
good
not
distraction
now.
from hopefully between dinner and the dragon draconic lesson. It's a good distraction for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That was it.
Excellent.
As the two of you sit into the night, learning basic phrases, and the rest of the group are catching up on their rest, that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
Okay.
We will pick
I like
back
it.
up first thing in the morning, but providing the night goes peacefully. But we'll find out next time.
Brilliant.
So, as always, remember we'll be back in a week, Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States. Thank you for watching. We do appreciate you giving us your time and your attention. And remember, stay safe, stay sane, do the right thing. Take care of yourself, take care of everyone around you, so you stay healthy and continue breathing. This is a good thing. So next Tuesday, we can once again welcome you back to the lands of Aecathan. Good night, everybody.
Night.